What's up, guys? Welcome to a new video. Today I'm going to explain why Redbubble sales drop. Okay, so a lot of people, and I'm just going to keep this, short, sweet, and to the point. A lot of people start during Q4, right, of the previous year. So during Q4, and their sales might be, let's just say, because there's 12 months in a year, there's 4 quarters. Let's just say there's 3 months, right? And so let's say this is month number 1 out of Q4. This is month number 2. And let's just say this is month number 3, okay, out of Q4, okay? They're going to probably typically, start somewhere here. And this is just the vast majority of people. What happens is towards the end of the year, more Redbubble videos are produced, more people are motivated to go out there and create a store. And then what happens is now you finally have Q1 of the new year, okay? And then you have so on from Q1, then you have Q2, right? You have Q3. And then finally Q4 again, okay? With Q1, what I typically tend to see is that there is a drop-off. There is a drop-off from traffic from Q4 to Q1, right? And it might be, let's say, here, okay? So it might be something like this, right? And the traffic might kind of differ, meaning, and that kind of looks like a small bar graph, but let's just use this bar, and let's just use this bar to represent Q1. So all this is Q1, right? And this is a bad example of a bar graph, but let's just go ahead and use it. What happens is that what you really do, you don't want to compare Q1 to Q4. Q4 is going to be inflated values by default. There are more people purchasing. It's more of a frenzy. It's more of a, it's just going crazy during Q4, okay? What you really want to base this on is Q1 of last year. If this is your first year doing Redbubble, then realize that that's perfectly fine. This is where you're going to start. These are inflated numbers. They're not realistic, okay? Now, what typically tends to happen is when people see that their numbers drop this much, they get seriously demotivated. They cannot push. They cannot, bring themselves up, and they don't feel like working again. But what you typically tend to see is the same people that give up during Q1, they're back at it at Q4 again, which is kind of funny. The reason why I say this is funny is because if working had stayed consistent from Q1 all the way to Q3, like you're consistently posting, you're not going to have an experience where, Q2 might be a little bit lower, up, down, and then Q3 might be up, down, down, right? You're not going to have experiences like this. Your bar graph is going to look completely different until you hit that Q4 traffic again, right? What it's going to look like, and I'm just going to go ahead and show you guys, is let's say this is your Q1 for the year, okay? Let's just go ahead and Q1 right here, right? What's going to happen is, and if you stick to the methods that I always recommend, you might have this the first month of Q1. You might have this the second month, but you might have this the third month, right? You might have no success the next month and you're just stagnant. When I say no success, I mean stagnation. I don't mean upward trend, okay? But you're still decent, right? And these numbers might be low for you, but we're just using an example here. But this is the start of Q2, right? So 1, 2, 3, we have the start of Q2 here. So these 3 bars. But then what happened is you might have a hit here. Then you might have a little bit here, right? You're not going to realize a crazy spike in traffic throughout the months of Q1 to Q3 simply because Q1 to Q3 is solely dependent on effort. That's it. And I know this is crazy and I know people don't want to hear this, but this is the reality. And you can control your graph to look like this. I think we should just take a step back, all of us, and not try to be so quick to do things we really shouldn't. I'll give you an example. I saw a video the other day. Can't remember what YouTuber posted it. Man, I can't remember. But she was a big YouTuber. I mean, she had just as many subs as I did. And I believe she deleted her Redbubble account. I didn't watch the full video. I watched like the first 10 seconds or first 30 seconds. And I got sad because I know Redbubble has changed, guys. I know that the platform has been abused, and I know that there's a lot of negative things with it. But it's not because of Redbubble, the company. It's because of the users. It's not because of the company. Now, with that being said, don't delete your Redbubble account. You could always keep it up. I mean, you don't necessarily have to work on it, but don't delete it. I mean, you could sell it. You could keep it up and just make slow profits with it. To delete it, I mean, that's like going a whole new level. I mean, that's not going to help you. So, anyways, something like this, right? Then what you do, and in this, by the way, if you're consistently uploading, okay? And I've noticed this specifically with Redbubble, and then Q4, you have your crazy numbers. But what I did notice, guys, is my results for Q4, where it, the chart doesn't even, I can't even complete the chart because of how crazy Q4 gets sometimes. What I noticed is for the next year, when we go into Q4, and I'll just go ahead and use like a blue marker for this, my next year's, when I'm working on the accounts and things like that, my next year, for Q1 after the big hit of Q4 is higher though than Q1. It's like a new base. It's like a new minimum. So my new minimum, let's just say, was double that of last year's, right? So I might be sitting at this range, okay, for the next year. And I might be sitting here, and it might continue, and might continue, and might continue, and so on. So when I hit Q4 again, it'll be much, much higher. And then the year after that, let's just use green, I'm sitting at a new level now, like a new low, right? And so I don't want you guys to, like I said, be too hung up on the numbers. The biggest mistake, guys, that I ever did in terms of business is I got too hung up on the numbers. Now, you could tell me, Mark, you go ahead and you always talk about 60 designs per day. You talk about increasing your income. You talk about working hard. How do you not get caught up in the numbers? Well, I've talked about 60 designs per day in the design course, but I don't talk about the sales of it. And the reason why I say that is because, guys, when you create 60 designs per day, I don't care who you are, you're eventually going to give up if you're solely focused on getting the sales of that 60 designs per day, because essentially you're on the clock. You're sitting there waiting, right? Let me see if I could draw a clock here. But you're on the clock and you're waiting minute by minute, hour by hour, day by day. Okay, when is it going to show up? When is my new sale going to show up? When is my new sale going to show up? And you might get the 60 designs per day for a few days, but then after that you're going to give up because you're not going to see value in it. Instead, I want you guys to think bigger, think long term. Instead of focusing on 60 designs per day, focus on long-term growth. Okay, we are going to do our 60 designs per day. For some people, they don't want to do 60 designs. It's perfectly fine. I know I personally do. There are many myths about it that are purely just come from uneducation. Some people say that you get banned from 60 designs. Not true. Some people say you get just a whole bunch of craziness. But anyways, right? I personally do 60 designs per day, and I haven't seen a single issue, and I've been doing this over, many period of a few months now. So what's going to happen is, and guys, it doesn't have to be 60. Some people are going to do 20. Some people are going to do 10. Some people are going to do 30. But realize that everybody has it in them. I've showed in the POD design course, which I'll leave the link in the comments down below. I've shown very specifically that I've done it in 34 minutes, so it's not like it's something difficult at all. And they are good designs, and they are, no market research needed and things like that. But anyways, the point here is that you're going to be consistently growing, and that's what you need. Your Redbubble account is not going to consistently grow unless you're producing more content. That's just something we all have to realize. Now, with me, guys, the reason why I abandoned an account after 30 days, and when I say abandon, what I'm really saying is I don't upload as much anymore on that account, is because I'm solely focused on a new account. This is a endeavor for me, a new thing for me, where every single month, I'm creating a brand new account, okay? A brand new account. And let's just say each box represents a new account, okay? All these accounts are doing the 60 design per day method, but I'm focusing on one account at a time for each niche, and I've spoken about why that is. I actually created a video on that whole entire process and reasons why I did it. So if you guys want to see that video, I'll link it in the description box down below if you're interested in seeing that video. But I specifically said in the video that I'm abandoning each account. What's going to happen is, guys, after I abandon these accounts, they're going to have some growth on the bar graph for the months that I don't upload, but they're still going to be radically higher than all the competition. Because why? Because of just the pure numbers that I'm doing. If you're doing 60 designs per day times 30, that's roughly 1,800. Now, of course, not every day is, not every month is 30 days, but last month we had, the month of January, we had 31 days. This month we're going to have 28 days, so the numbers kind of even out. The next month we're going to have, set number of days. The point here is that if you're not uploading consistently, then this is the next best trick. Now, there's no way I'll be able to upload consistently for each account. That's going to defeat the purpose anyway, because then it will just drive my head crazy, because then I'll be jumping from account to account every single week, and that's not what I want to do. I'm a very head-focused person. When I focus on one account for the month, for the 30 days, and I'm posting 1,800 roughly designs, let's just say more than 1,500. More than 1,500 designs for that account, I'm already beating basically all the competition. If you look on an average of most accounts on Redbubble, right, you just do a search for any product. Let's just do that right now. Let's just do this for fun. Let's just search any product, okay? Let's type in fish, and let's just see random solution here. I want to click on this, and this, and then I want to click on the products that are probably not getting sales, which I'll just go to. So by the way, I did click on 3 products here that are most likely getting sales, and now I'm going to just click on, let's just see here. Where is it? Is this page 2, I believe? Let's go ahead and see. Okay, yeah, let's go to page 8. Okay, and I want to show you guys the comparisons here. I'm going to go to page 8. All right, and there might be some success, there might not be, but let's just go ahead and click on this. Let's go ahead and click on this. Let's go ahead and click on this and this. And I want to show you guys the comparison here between the successful and the unsuccessful. I'm going to click on, I clicked on random stores. I don't know, what's what, but look at this one. 319 designs, okay? That's store number 1 from the unsuccessful group, okay? Let's go ahead and click on this one. 217. Let's click on, where's the next one here? Is this the next store? Let's click on this one. 104 designs. Okay, let's go ahead and click on this one. 41 designs. So this is my point, guys, is that the unsuccessful of the group, they're not going to have more than 1,500 designs. It's just not going to happen. It's unrealistic, right? On a balance of probabilities, maybe 1% of the unsuccessful have that much. Maybe. I mean, you're not going to have that much commitment to where you create 1,500 plus designs if you're not making any money. Like, think about it this way. If you're not making any money on Redbubble, and you're not getting any training, you're not learning anything new, you're not pushing yourself in the Redbubble space. Let's just assume that. Is it realistic that you're going to go out there and create 2,000, 1,500, even more than 1,000 designs? The answer is no. It's highly unrealistic. Why? Because you're not going to invest time, effort, money into something that you don't see a return on. Isn't that agreeable, right? And this is why I kind of scratch my head when people say, do a design a day or something like that. I said, do you not see a return on your investment of time? Because for me personally, guys, when I'm on Redbubble, I see a great investment, return on investment. Great return. With the methods that I'm doing, of course, and I shoot these methods, or I boost these methods like a steroid kind of way, to where I'm using the Instagram bots when I first start. Now, I've talked about this before, and I'll just show you guys here what I'm talking about, but the Gumroad bots, okay? Or let me just go ahead and search botsandapps.gumroad. You guys can see what I'm talking about here. I've talked about this before, igbots.org for the full-time, whatever you want to call it, full-time bot, okay? You guys see what I'm talking about. These are the Instagram bots that help grow your account. If I go over here to Instagram, this is what I'm talking about. I'll pull up my demo account here. Let's go to Instagram. And you can see here, you can grow your account using Instagram. You can get followers, you can get likes, you can get etc. Now, this is a demo account. I haven't jumped on it in a day or something. And, oh my God, here we go. Another clickbait account. This person used this is crazy. This person used my exact logo and followed me. I just find this hilarious. But see, this is what I'm saying, guys, when I talk about the copycats accounts. I could just tell right away, this is a copycat account, okay? But like I said, no big deal, no problem with me, zero issues. But you could see what I'm saying here. I find this ridiculously odd that this is a copycat account liking my content. I just find this weird. But anyways, God bless them. I hope they win. I hope they make money. I hope they succeed. But you guys see what I'm trying to say here. Okay, there's a system to everything that I'm doing. And when I create this system, or when I work on this system, I created this system purely just based on experience. I didn't search about this on a forum. I didn't read about this in a book, okay? I didn't watch this in a video. What I did was I created my own system. Now, it's cool if you guys use this system as well. I'm telling you from personal experience, it works 1,000%, okay? The reason why I know that is because I'm beating the competition in every single regard. In terms of quantity, I'm beating them. In terms of quality, I'm beating them. In terms of niche research, the method that I'm doing to design my work requires almost zero niche research. Almost zero. I've shown this before in the course. I'm not going to speak too much on it. If you want to grab the course, go ahead and grab it. It's $39.99. We're actually going to do an update to the course soon where we add more content. So that is where it is. But in terms of design quality and the niche research, that's taken care of. The next thing is the Redbubble tagging course. Now, the Redbubble tagging course has to do with the titling and tagging. And the reason why I'm beating them in that aspect is, like I said, during that period of time where you guys saw my sales go low, and I'll just show you guys what I'm talking about here. On the website for the Redbubble tagging course, you can see here, I had a period where my sales went down. This is a period where I didn't upload. But how did my sales shoot up right away? This is not Q4, this is Q3. How did I do this? It's because I strictly focused on certain things. And during that period of time, not only did I use the Instagram bots to shoot up my sales almost tenfold, but I focused on the tagging, I focused on the titling, I focused on every single aspect that I could potentially control. And the reality is guys, is when we make money on Redbubble and all these other platforms, there's very few we could actually control. But what we can control, well, are the variables, the titles, the tags, right? We can control the design. We can't control the competition, but we can beat the competition. How? By using that steroid effect with the Instagram bots, right? If we're on page 3, we want to end up on page 1. Watch what happens when you get a sale. This is why I say track your results. If you're going to be creating, let's say, if you're going to be creating a design, let's say in the fish niche, right? This is just a pure example. If you're going to be creating a design in the fish niche, right? Check where your design shows up. Is it on page 5, 10, whatever? Then spend a certain amount of days promoting on Instagram. Once it gets its first sale, see now what page it goes to, what page it boosts up to. Because this is how Redbubble works, guys. That's why I say there's few things that you can control, but the things that you can control on Redbubble are prime movers. This is why I say focus on the titles, focus on the tags. That's why we even created courses around that, because these are the prime movers of the Redbubble business. Now, is it going to be easy? No. You're not going to be able to take a course and make $1 million. You have to actually enact that course out. You have to execute on the information, and you have to do it with scale. Because if you do it for 1, 2, 3, or 10 designs, it's simply not enough. There are over 30 million designs on Redbubble. To prove that, I could just go in here and just type in enter, right? And search. And you can see here there are over 35 million designs. Just a few days ago, it was at 34 point something. Now it's at 35,063,387 total designs. So you guys see what I'm saying here, right? Success is within you. It's within every single person watching this. But my dad always used to say this, and he says, hard work comes before the dream. And if you have a dream, if you want to be financially successful, if you want to work well, hard work, and the word hard work, it doesn't even fully explain the amount of effort that you're going to have to put. A lot of people think passive income is quick income. That's not the case. It's not about being quick. It's about hard work. The harder you can work, the more you'll get paid in perpetuity. And for some people, they might work very, very low amount and do 5 designs, 10 designs, and they might see a sale or two throughout the whole entire year. But then there's other people who might be working hard the whole entire year, create 10,000, 20,000 designs, and they're going to be seeing sales every single day. Multiple sales every single day. And it will be passive sales. Meaning, let's say I'm working today on a bunch of fish designs, but yesterday I was working on tiger designs. Well, those tiger designs could have sold me while I'm working, made me money while I'm working on the fish designs. That's passive income. But it doesn't get there unless I'm doing consistent amount of work, but in large amounts. So, with that being said, guys, every single person watching this holds the key to success. you're not getting sales because most of the time it's lack of effort, whether it be lack of effort in different areas. And I've noticed this, and I'm speaking, guys, from experience. I'm not, like I said, I didn't read this in a book. I was experiencing lack of sales at one point in time. And I said, okay, what can I do to boost this? And I started breaking down what are the things that I could basically control: the title, the tags, the image, right? How do these things affect my success? If I alter the title this way, what is that going to do? Am I going to get traffic from Google, or am I going to get traffic from Redbubble? Also, guys, I want to touch on a topic real quick about indexing. I had a comment, multiple comments actually, like the past 3 days. I've been inundated with comments, maybe 15 comments around people who've been asking something about being indexed or not being indexed, and they're saying, what about no index and all this? Guys, indexing is kind of blown out of proportion. I'll explain why. When you're being indexed on Redbubble, on Google, okay, that does not mean you're going to get traffic. You have to realize that it's just saying, hey, Google is going to put you somewhere in the search engine. It could be on page 9,000. It could be on page 4. It could be on page 1. Now, even if you are on page 1, I want you to recognize this, that it does not matter if you're on page 1 if nobody is searching for that specific keyword term. This is what I want everybody to understand. If nobody's searching for it, realistically, how many people are actually going to see you? The answer is 0. It doesn't matter if you're on page 1. It doesn't matter if you're on page 1,000. It doesn't matter what page you're on. If nobody's searching for it, you're not going to find it. Now, there is a common thing that exists in Google called adjacent keyword terms. We see this more prevalent within the blogging community. We don't see it nearly as much when it comes to products. Google can tell based on the type of page, right, that exists, whether it is a product page or whether it is a content page. When I say content page, whether it's a blog page or whether it's a sales product page. There are certain, buttons and things like that Google takes into consideration to categorize these different blog pages. That's why when you sign up to Google Analytics and you just place your pixel on your website, that tracking code, they know which page is which. They know what pages add to cart. They know what pages check out. You don't have to label these pages that way. They just know based on the way it's set up through the code. The point here is that don't focus on indexing, not indexing. Keep creating your designs. And I unfortunately, I want to share the method for to essentially get seen on Google. Unfortunately, I cannot share that. I leave that in the tagging course. I've shared this in the tag. You know what? You guys can actually see the curriculum. I don't need to really talk about this. You guys see the curriculum. The point here is it doesn't matter if like being not indexed is not your problem. I'll put it this way. That's not the issue. The issue is majority of people are getting indexed, but nobody's searching for the keywords that they're using in the organization that they're using them in. So there's a bunch of problems associated with it. I could talk about that for hours, like I said, but the reason why I'm not going to is I don't want to get too deep into this video. We already talked enough. And maybe we'll do videos in the future talking about indexing, not getting indexed, and the issues associated with it. But utilize the things that you can control. If Redbubble's not indexing your work, figure out what you can control. Ask yourself, what can I control? How can I get my design seen? You don't think Redbubble is going to place an index thing on your account if you've never been indexed for when you get your first few sales? Of course they will. But you can control that. You can control your tags. You can control your titles to be seen on the Redbubble search algorithm. Forget Google. Then you can control that by creating sales through the Instagram bots, through the Pinterest, through the Twitter, through the YouTube. Right? You can do these things, you can boost the amount of sales, and you can get more results, right? So that's all I got to say for this video. Thank you guys for watching. I'll talk to you guys later. Peace out. Bye.